Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? I'm Jakejames Lugo. Welcome to the channel and welcome to this brand new JJ's One Man Podcast. I'm back at it again, going through the digital airwaves to talk with you guys about gaming news, movie stuff, and everything else. I know it's been a hot minute. I've been busy doing a ton of things, so I haven't put out a brand new episode in quite a bit, but I've been putting up YouTube shorts here on the channel, other YouTube videos as well related to gaming and everything else. On top of that, TikTok, there's been videos going up literally every day about gaming, movies, pop culture. There's a bunch of stuff that your man has been doing all over the place. So even though you haven't been seeing these podcast episodes as frequent lately, there's still been a ton of content for you guys to check out. But I'm back on the podcast game. I'm back on my nonsense. I'm back on my good stuff. So we have a lot to talk about that's been going on. Before that, I should mention, over the time that I want to say the last week or so that I've been out, I've been in Puerto Rico. I actually took a trip over to Puerto Rico with some family to enjoy myself, check out the sun, enjoy the beaches, a little mini vacation, even though I was still putting out content. It's hard to get into that rest mode and actually take a vacation, quote unquote, especially when you're doing stuff all the time. But I digress though. Vacation's over, time to get back to work. And we have a lot to discuss. So first things first that I do want to talk about, probably the biggest thing to come out lately, we have to talk about Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. So this game came out prior to my vacation to Puerto Rico, right? It came out, it was on Xbox Game Pass for everybody day one. I downloaded it. I started playing the game the day after I got back. So at the time I'm recording this, it's been about 2 or so days since I've been back. And I played a little bit, I want to say maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or take. Very early on impressions of Hellblade 2. Pretty much not a lot of stuff that I've seen in the game as of yet. I will say that I did see a lot of the reviews that were going up not that long ago, right when the game dropped. I will say that a lot of people were definitely not feeling the game in general. A lot of people were very divided about this game for one reason or another. And I can understand it. I get why people were so divided, is because some people feel like it's just really like a glorified tech demo where it's literally not a lot of gameplay going on with it. And other people really enjoy it because it falls in line with a lot of what was going on with the first Hellblade saga, or Hellblade game, I should say. It's Hellblade Senua's, it's not Senua's Saga, Senua's Sacrifice. That was the original game. And I played that a while back. I actually have a review of it here on the channel that you guys could go check out later if you want to know my full thoughts about the original Hellblade. But I will say, from what I remember of that game, there was combat, there was sections with the puzzles, which were probably the weakest aspect of that game, at least in my opinion. I enjoyed everything else. I loved the story. I felt it was very interesting. The whole idea that was the focus on mental health. A lot of people really overly discuss that, and I get it, because that game pretty much has a big, heavy focus on it. And this one for Senua's Saga, which is the second game, Hellblade 2, a lot of people feel that aspect of it isn't as good as the previous game. So I understand that. I still have to play more of it. I'm probably going to take today and tomorrow to play through the entire game because it's not that long. It's about 8 hours from what I keep seeing from people, maybe about 10 hours or so, give or take. But I'll know what's up eventually when I get through the full game because there's a lot to see with it. But let me know your thoughts about Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga if you played it either through Game Pass or not down below in the comment section. Do you think it's a good game? Do you think that the reviews are off base? Tell me your thoughts about it down below in the comment section. So, moving on from there, we have to talk about this big news. We have to talk about something massive that went down recently as of today, okay? Let's talk about the announcement. Whoops, sorry, I got to switch over here. Let's talk about the announcement of the Legend of Zelda Lego set. Okay, this is something that's been coming for a long time. Okay, a lot of people have wanted to see this for quite some time. I'm in the version of this, which I believe is the European version, but for North America, it's about $299 that they're announcing it as, so it's not displayed in the right currency here, but it's coming out September 1st. It's the 2-in-1 set for Lego The Legend of Zelda based on the Great Deku Tree. Here, I'll even show you guys. Let me move myself out the way. You guys can look at a better picture of it, of the actual set. Look at these big pictures. Look at this. This is pretty cool, okay? So this is based, or at least this setup is based on a version from Breath of the Wild. You can see the minifigs there for both Link and Zelda. You got a couple of the other characters, the Korok seeds or the Koroks that are hanging out underneath the Great Deku Tree. But in addition to that, right? In addition to that, we also have a version that's based on Ocarina of Time. Now, to me, this is the cooler version to me. Because you guys all know I love Ocarina of Time. I respect Breath of the Wild. I respect Tears of the Kingdom and the whole bit. But this, to me, I think is pretty cool because this is something that people have really wanted for a very long time. And I think it's awesome. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's perfect. It's pretty much perfect what you would expect from a Lego Zelda. Now, I will say, because we have to talk about this, right? We have to talk about this. I will say this will not be the last Legend of Zelda Lego set that we see. I am pretty sure, I am almost guaranteeing at this point, we're going to see stuff probably for the Wind Waker. I would not be surprised. Maybe Twilight Princess. I would not be surprised. Possibly also the original Legend of Zelda. I think that would be perfect, especially with any of the anniversaries that pop up for the series. I feel like we're going to definitely see more of these sets in the same vein as the Super Mario Lego sets or the Animal Crossing Lego sets, because Super Mario got like 4 or 5, maybe more sets of Lego on top of the big versions with like the Bowser or the Question Block. There's a ton of them. So I could totally see more Lego sets happening for this thing because it looks good. I think it looks good. It's popular enough to justify them actually picking up more sets. I mean, look at that. He's in his little treehouse there, from Kokori Village. At least, from the display that they have there. I think that's pretty cool. It's coming out, like I said, September 1st. It's going to be retailing at $299. So for a lot of people, it'd be pretty pricey, but look how much you're getting out of it. You're getting 2,500 pieces. If you're a big Zelda fan or if you're a big Lego collector, I feel like this is going to be it for you. I think this is going to be really a good pickup for you. Maybe a holiday present because this comes out right in time for the holidays. So it's almost too perfect for any Nintendo or Zelda fan or Lego fan that just loves collecting the Lego sets, especially the big ones. Like I said, it's pricey, but definitely well worth it from the sounds of it. But either way, that's just my opinion on the Legend of Zelda Lego set officially finally revealed and confirmed. Let me know your thoughts about this down below in the comment section. Are you a big Zelda fan? Do you like this stuff? Are you ready for more Lego sets? What other Lego sets? Okay, because I should have mentioned this before. What other Lego sets based on Nintendo franchises or properties do you want to see? Because I could totally see more of these happening, like straight up. I think that we could get one for Star Fox because let's be real, Lego, especially older like 90s, 2000s Lego sets, they had a ton of space themed stuff. And I could totally see Star Fox working. I could totally see Metroid working. That'd be awesome. I could totally see F-Zero working out, especially with the racing theme to it and space theme. Like the possibilities are endless. And I don't think we've seen the last of this. We're going to probably get more Zelda sets. We might get more Super Mario and more Animal Crossing sets at some point. But I'm excited about the Zelda stuff. I'm curious to see where Lego goes with this in collaboration with Nintendo. But tell me your thoughts about it down below in the comments section. So, moving on from there. Okay, because we got other stuff to talk about. Before we get into one of the bigger topics I want to discuss, let me lightly touch on something else that happened recently that I just got to see yesterday. And I did a review of it over on my TikTok. Let's talk about Furiosa, okay, a Mad Max saga, say that 3 times fast. Furiosa, the prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. This movie was good. I have to definitely say that this movie was good. And the reason being is because the action was awesome. I really believe that this guy right here, Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, I feel he steals the movie. Because he has a lot of lines in here. He has a lot of things to do. He looks pretty darn good, especially with some of the stuff that he does during the movie with the action sequences. He gets this chariot, right? Let me see. Can I get a picture? Is this it? Yeah, this is the picture right here. He gets like a chariot with 3 motorcycles, which I think is so dope. And I've seen other people talk about this. It looks freaking cool. And when you see it in the movie, when it's actually moving around, it looks freaking amazing. Like, it looks just awesome. Like, look at this. Look at this close-up picture of him. He looks like a Roman, emperor or a Roman general, just, riding around those things. And they're, instead of horses, like Pegasus or any sort of, horses that would ride his chariot, he's got motorcycles. He's got, what is that, BMW? He's got a BMW, little icon on there. I don't know. I would assume or hope that it was actually Harley Davidson's, but that's a brand collaboration, a brand deal that should have happened. I mean, there goes another one with that another motorcycle. But there you go. This is here with the motorcycles there. Oh, my God. It's just dope. I think he steals the movie, okay? But going back to Anya Taylor-Joy, okay? Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, is pretty good. Her problem is, though, or it's not even really a problem, but the way that she's utilized in this film, she doesn't speak a lot. Okay, she's more of the Max character that we've seen in other Mad Max movies, but she does a lot of facial acting, like her eyes. You can see her eyes are very prominent there, very bold, and in other shots that she's, seen here, her eyes are really the big standout, of everything that she does. Even right here, there's a shot here. This is the one I was just going to say. This one right here, this shot, okay, to me, in the film, as she's backing up, like you're focused on her eyes with the light there, even though there's all this crazy stuff going on in her front, through her front window that's going on in the background. It's just, her eyes are just so like gravitating. And I think it's great for her, at least for the part that she was playing. So it doesn't make her any worse because she didn't have as much dialogue as like Chris Hemsworth or anybody else in the movie. I think it still works out great. But like I said, the movie is awesome. I highly recommend that if you have the chance to go see it in IMAX, okay? I really recommend you definitely go see this movie in IMAX because the sound is awesome, the visuals, like the different cinematography, the great shots, the action, well, more than ever warrant seeing it on the bigger screen. It's just that good. It's that awesome. It's that much fun. It's about 2.5 hours, give or take, so it's pretty long, but still. Once you get past that beginning, like 10, 20 minutes of the movie, it's all like high octane. It just keeps going and it gets even bigger and better as the movie goes along. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was dope. But anyway, those are my thoughts about Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Tell me in the comments if you got a chance to see it in theaters, IMAX or otherwise. And what did you think of the film? Do you think this is one of the better Mad Max films? Do you want to actually see more of Furiosa? Is I think also an important question because we might get another Mad Max film down the line after this, but do people want to see more of Furiosa? Because everybody loved Charlize Theron as Furiosa in Fury Road, but Anya Taylor-Joy is pretty good. You know, I wonder if they would actually bring her back as the character again, but I digress though. Tell me what you think about it down below in the comment section. So let's talk about now one of the big things that happened when I was actually on my vacation. This was a big deal, okay? So if you didn't already see the news, okay, I'm looking at it on IGN right now because they wrote about it. There was no like press release or anything that came up, but IGN themselves wrote about this and then it got posted all over the place afterwards. So IGN acquired the Gamer Network, which included different websites, including Eurogamer, GameIndustry.biz, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and a couple others, including also Digital Foundry. Now, with the biggest thing that people were up in arms about is that they were worried that Digital Foundry was actually going to be affected by this in a pretty big way, okay? The other websites and outlets that were included in here also includes Outside Xbox and Hookshot, okay, which operates like Nintendo Live, Push Square, Pure Xbox, Time Extension, etc., okay? That being said, not much is really going on with Digital Foundry. They do have shares or do have like a portion of Digital Foundry that they own, but the majority of that is owned by the guys that run Digital Foundry, that do the videos on there. They're pretty much, you know, the guys that are still going to be in control of what's going on with Digital Foundry. So I don't think there's much to be worried about with it. But outside of that, however, okay, I will say this is a big deal because it's IGN gobbling up other websites, which they've been doing for a long time. I've seen other podcast shows, and more specifically Sacred Symbols, where they talked about it a little bit. And they mentioned like, yeah, this is like nothing new. Like it was been happening for like the longest time. They did this to 1UP. They did this to Game Trailers, I believe, as well, and other websites over time. So this type of thing is nothing new. It's a business move. What I do want to touch on and I do want to talk about is some of this notion that some of these places outside of Sacred Symbols, but other podcasts and other places I mentioned, that this is IGN gobbling up their competition. Now you got to understand, this is a very complex, very layered discussion because IGN's competition, even though one would assume, rightfully so, that all these gaming outlets that cover video games and the games industry are IGN's competition, it's not necessarily the case because of how big IGN is. IGN is massive, and it's one of those first like Web 1.0 websites that has really lasted a very long time. It's one of the original ones from back in the day that everybody knows, because if you're into gaming, if you know anything about video games, you know the hobby, the industry, or anything else, chances are you know about IGN. Even if you don't frequent the website, you know about them. That's how big of a brand they are. With that being said, really the competition that IGN has, and when they do stuff like this, okay, they're really more in competition with other major outlets, especially major news outlets like CNN, for example. To me, I feel like a CNN would probably be like more of the equivalent of like what type of competition we're looking at for an outlet like IGN, because IGN is the biggest outlet when it comes to entertainment stuff. So you see other news outlets that cover multiple different things, maybe not necessarily world news and politics, at IGN, but even though those outlets cover that stuff, they're still as big, if not bigger, than IGN. So that's more where the competition is at. So doing something like this, business-wise, even though I agree with some of the places and some of the people that have been talking about this, saying that this is bad for the industry, this isn't like the greatest thing that should be happening, I do admit, I agree this is a very confusing move for IGN because I didn't think it was necessary. I definitely did not expect this. I saw a couple of people on social media saying that they expected this to happen. They're lying. They're totally full of nonsense. Nobody expected this. Nobody talked about this. All the stuff that came out afterwards about how there was a heads up to the people that were in those websites that there was a sale happening. Those were probably the only people that knew about it, like in a very short time frame. And then obviously the layoffs happened, which is a whole nother aspect. That's part of what's been going on with the games industry the last couple of months. That's pretty rough. It's a sad reality and a sad truth that we all have to deal with. There was a lot of redundancies according to some of the places that did report on this. I do have to say, I can actually pull it up here. I'll be able to show you guys. There was a couple places that were, talking about this that said that a lot of the people that were getting laid off were redundancies there, mostly with talent. Okay, so I'm going to go to the gamesindustry.biz. And I know I saw in a few other places, there you go, the Gamer Network and everything else. There was a lot of places that did mention the different layoffs and stuff. I'm trying to find one that probably actually covered it. Yeah, here we go. This one mentions the layoffs. This is Men's Journal. It's random, but yeah, there was a lot of different layoffs with it. The new layoffs come from posts made on social media. IGN Entertainment Experience Company said that only the deal's closure will involve layoffs and didn't say how many or who specifically would be affected. I know I can say, and I could confirm from people that I've seen talk on social media, people that I know personally have been laid off at places like gamesindustry.biz, Eurogamer, and many others that were acquired within this acquisition. And it sucks because nobody likes to see others get laid off. Nobody likes to see other people lose their jobs. It's just an unfortunate side effect. Excuse me. An unfortunate side effect. I'm getting dry mouth here because I'm talking so much. But it's an unfortunate side effect from business moves that happen like this. And people don't like it. I definitely don't think it's the best thing ever, but it is part of it. And I think that the entity of Ziff Davis and IGN don't really care too much about the feelings of other people online on social media. They're going to do what they do. They're going to do what they do as a big business, as far as being a major outlet that's trying to grow and trying to change up and do things for their own business model. And all the opinions of everybody else is kind of irrelevant at this point. And it sucks for some of us on the outside looking in, but it is what it is. That's like the best thing that anybody could say. Do I think that this is going to be the end of it? No. I think there's going to be other stuff that comes out. I think there's also going to be other layoffs at some point that is going to be still a lot of people are going to complain about on social media. But again, as much as we don't like seeing that stuff, it's going to happen. It's just a fact of life when it comes to being part of this industry, let alone any other industry. So there's not much else to say about it. Again, even looking at the IGN post about it, like there really just, again, isn't much else to really harp on as far as what's been going on with IGN themselves and also more than likely what's going to be the fallout from this stuff. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, again, about all the stuff involving IGN acquiring all these different websites. Did you go to any of these websites? Again, let me list them off. Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG247, Dicebreaker, that's another one I didn't read, Outside Xbox, Hookshot, Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, Time Extension, and again, also Digital Foundry, but they're not really changing much with that. But all those other different websites that I mentioned, did you get a chance to go frequent those websites, or were you actually visiting them for your gaming news and other stuff related to gaming content on a regular basis? Tell me your thoughts about that down below in the comment section, and also your thoughts on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing for the industry. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be very divided, or some people are going to lean more towards it being a bad thing for the industry. But like I said, it is what it is. It's business that's happening in the games industry, and it's not the best thing, but it's a fact of life. So yeah. Now, moving on from there, there's a few more things we got to discuss. Let me also talk a little bit about this because, again, this is coming out very soon. I do have to mention a little bit about Star Wars Hunters, okay? I want to move my actual, camera there a little bit. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Star Wars Hunters, okay? I'm going to play a little bit of the trailer while it's there. This trailer came out. It's the official gameplay trailer for the launch of Star Wars Hunters. It's coming to Switch and mobile devices on June 4th. I have maintained my same opinion with this, even with this gameplay trailer. As you could see here, I don't think this game looks good. I don't think this game looks great. I understand that it's kind of borrowing a little bit of elements from like the whole Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Apex Legends kind of like, design model or motif, the gameplay loop and everything else. I think that's fine. The problem is, though, is that I think that this game looks very, very shallow. It feels a little bit more like a carbon copy of Overwatch, where they're just better options for this style of gameplay with Overwatch 2 and other games that have been coming out or coming out currently that offer a better experience from this, at least from what I'm seeing. I haven't gotten hands-on time with it. This game is going to be free to play, though. Okay, so I am going to download this on Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to find out what's up. And I'm going to do a full video here on the channel when the game is out. I might jump online, hopefully, fingers crossed, with a few other people that I know that cover Star Wars games, including Star Wars HQ. I know that he was talking about it. Hopefully, maybe Star Wars Theory might get into some of this. Maybe Dave Doc from the Galaxy, Rule of Galaxy podcast might get in on this if he has time. But I'm going to check it out because, like I said, I don't think that this game looks all that great. I think that it looks very shallow. It looks very mediocre. It looks like a game that's on mobile devices that is just like you're going to spend a little bit of time with it and you're never going to care about it again. And that's not the type of game or type of thing you want to happen with a game like that that's based off of something with the same business model as Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Marvel Rivals, the list goes on. For a hero shooter, I don't think that's a great thing. At least that's the vibes that I'm getting from it. I'll play it, give it some time, see if it grows on me. If not, then it is what it is. Because I'll tell you right now, this Star Wars game is going to get forgotten very soon. And the main reason being is because anybody that's into Star Wars games knows that in August, we got Star Wars Outlaws that's dropping fairly soon. Again, in August, at the beginning of August, I believe it is. But that's coming out around then. And when that happens, nobody's going to care about this game. I would even argue that nobody's going to care about Star Wars Hunters when Marvel Rivals really hits its stride and when it comes out in a full release. Because we just had the sneak preview of it from everybody not that long ago that they were playing the game. When that game drops, nobody's going to care about Star Wars Hunters. Okay, it is what it is. And even then, there's other Star Wars games that we know are in the works right now. We have word that came out a couple days ago that Total War Star Wars is actually a thing that's happening. And when that drops, nobody else is going to care about Star Wars Hunters at that point, because I feel like anybody that's like waiting for something different than Star Wars Outlaws would have that game to check out. And you know how that Total War crowd is, that RTS crowd, they love their games. And when you throw Star Wars in the mix, it's over at that point. I think it's going to be a really good match for them. It's going to be very interesting depending on what eras they decide to go with Total War. And I hope they get all three eras, or maybe even go even further with the High Republic or even the Old Republic. That'd be pretty sick for Total War Star Wars. But I digress, though. My main point in mentioning all that is that Star Wars Hunters is going to be obsolete and nobody's going to care about it at some point. But we just got the gameplay trailer. I'll play the game, give impressions when it's finally out. Let me know your thoughts about Star Wars Hunters down below in the comment section. Are you going to play it when it comes out free to play June 4th? Are you going to pick up the full version of the game? Do you plan on buying anything if you're a big Star Wars fan that's related to Star Wars Hunters? Tell me your thoughts about it. And also tell me, are you going to play this on mobile or are you going to play this on Nintendo Switch? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm playing on Nintendo Switch. I'm not going to play on mobile devices. I play on consoles and a little bit of PC most of the time, but really consoles is where my bread and butter is. And that's where I'm going to play this game, and that's where I'm going to judge it, see what's up with it. But anyway, tell me your thoughts about Star Wars Hunters down below in the comment section. Now, finally, the last big thing we got to talk about, which is massive, that happened today, right? We have to talk about the fact that it was announced that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming out. We're getting a showcase during the, Summer Game Fest, which is June 6th. We're going to have it right after the Xbox showcase. But then also the massive part of this news is that Call of Duty, a brand new Call of Duty game, is going to be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. That's massive. That's a big deal. Anybody that tells you otherwise, it doesn't know what they're talking about. This was a major move that a lot of people didn't know if it was actually going to happen, okay? So this is the official announcement on, Xbox Game Pass. This is the official Call of Duty blog post or Xbox blog post about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And pretty much showing the trailer and talking about, yeah, this is going to be available day one on Game Pass. And a lot of people are going to more than likely get Xbox Game Pass and play this on their Xbox Series X or Series S, and also on PC Game Pass as well, because it's going to be available for all of them, and including Xbox One as well too. But the point is, this was a move I don't think anybody thought that Microsoft would have like the fortitude to actually make, okay? Because number one, Call of Duty is one of the biggest selling franchises of all time. Like every Call of Duty game, massive sales. $70 per unit, massive amounts of money. Nobody thought that they would actually be bold enough to put it on their service, Xbox Game Pass, and instead keep it a la carte and keep it a little bit more exclusive to buying at retail like that. But with this, is this going to affect the sales of this new Call of Duty game going into its release, especially on the Xbox platform, because I would even argue the people that have PlayStation 5 that normally play Call of Duty on PlayStation 5, this is an appealing deal because granted, they haven't said anything about an Xbox Game Pass price hike, which is probably coming, but real talk, I would not put it past them if they don't raise the price, a lot of people just diving in on Xbox Game Pass to play this. And then maybe there'll be a dip afterwards after playing multiplayer or whatever else. But I could totally see people just getting Xbox Game Pass and playing the Call of Duty game Black Ops 6 like this and never buying the game after that. And then they just live on Xbox Game Pass. Maybe that's not a long-term thing, but I could totally see people doing it. But is that also going to be effective enough so that way people on PlayStation side will not get the game on PlayStation 5 and then go pick it up on Xbox Game Pass? That's an interesting question. There's going to be a lot of loyalties tested out here, okay? Whether you're down or not down for Xbox Game Pass, or whether you're just sticking to your ecosystem, playing it on PlayStation 5 or not, because this, for consumers, for players right now of Call of Duty, this is a hell of a deal. Like straight up, this is an awesome, awesome deal, no matter how you look at it. But like I said, this is very bold to Microsoft, and who knows, it could be the most amazing thing in the world, or it could really suck, and it could be a really bad move. We all know that it's been a little bit of shaky ground for Microsoft and Xbox as of lately, especially everybody's still being mad at them what they did to Tango Gameworks. Okay, we still didn't forget about that. And we're still pissed about it. The point is, though, this is Call of Duty. This is the series that just makes bank after bank after bank for absolutely no reason every single year that it comes out, or every time there's a new release, because it hasn't been every single year as of late. But every time there's a brand new Call of Duty, it makes fat bank. But is that same fat bank going to transfer over to Xbox Game Pass? Is this going to be the new model for brand new Call of Duty games? Well, no. Hopefully. We'll see what happens come September. Or not September. Was it? They didn't give an actual release window. Some people did say around October, but I don't know. Okay, we'll have to wait to see if during this showcase, again, it's going to come out, the showcase after the Xbox Game Showcase is going to be on June 6th, or June 9th, I'm sorry, June 9th at 10 a.m. Okay, after that is when they're going to actually show gameplay. They're going to talk more about Black Ops 6. I think maybe they might show multiplayer. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they'll probably just focus on single player, show off the visuals, talk about when this game's coming out, maybe talk about additions of the game, talk about it being on Xbox Game Pass, but we'll see what happens, okay? But let me know what your thoughts are about Call of Duty Black Ops 6, not only the announcement of it, that it's confirmed, but also coming to Xbox Game Pass. Are you going to get it on Xbox Game Pass, or are you going to play it on PlayStation 5 instead? Tell me your thoughts about this and everything else that we mentioned down below in the comment section. And there you go, guys. That's this week's episode. That's this episode of the podcast. So much to get into. There's probably going to be even more stuff that happens eventually. I would not be surprised within the next week and a half that we get more news, because again, next week, it's next week or the week after, is Summer Game Fest. And there's going to be a lot of stuff apparently happening there during Jeff Keighley's showcase. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to follow it here on social media, give my impressions, give my thoughts on Twitter and everywhere else. Also react to it on TikTok. There's going to be a lot of things to talk about during that entire week, because we still don't know what's going on with Nintendo. We don't know what's going on with the state of play for PlayStation. That might be a thing. There might be other stuff drop-in surprises that we don't know about. They might even do something crazy out of nowhere and announce Half-Life 3. For all we know. Obviously, that's hyperbolic, but the point is, anything could happen now, because we have no E3 going on. We got Summer Game Fest. And who knows? Maybe Jeff Keighley came out and he's pulling out all the stops and calling in a ton of favors and might actually make it probably the best gaming showcase we've ever seen. But we'll know what's up very soon. Like I said, I'm going to react to everything, going to give my thoughts, and I'll be following it alongside all of you when things go down. So anyway, that's the episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for following the podcast. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below in the comment section. Leave a like as well also on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You got new episodes of the podcast, like I said, coming back every single week. You got brand new videos here on YouTube, gameplay videos and impressions. You got YouTube shorts that are going down and everything else that's related to it that you should definitely check out, because they've been going up a lot. And people have been watching them and enjoying them. Okay, and make sure you comment in there as well. There's been good discussions going back and forth. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, or X now, as we have to call it. I'm never going to call this thing X. I'm going to call it Twitter. You guys know what I'm talking about. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always on there every single day posting up stuff. Follow me on TikTok. New videos related to gaming stuff, movies, and pop culture every single day over there. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Patreon. Follow me on Threads. Everywhere that you look, it's at Jakejames Lugo on all my platforms, at Jakejames Lugo. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Patreon, the works. Check it out when you can, and hopefully I will see you guys on the next video. So peace out and stay epic, everybody. This channel is sponsored by Flynn's Arcade and More, located in Margate, Florida. Flynn's is one of the premier spots for gaming fans in South Florida. They have a variety of arcade games on cabinet for you to play throughout the week, including all of your beloved classics. You could also play a ton of new and current console games too, on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo consoles. Grab a snack or drink and enjoy the best gaming experience you'll find. Visit during one of their many big events to connect with the gaming community in South Florida. Want to test your skills in competitive fighting games? Join any of the weekly tournaments that happen at Flynn's for a chance for some cool prizes. And if you're into tabletop gaming or model kit building, there's a bunch of events there for you too. Swing by Flynn's Arcade and More, located in Margate Boulevard in Margate, Florida. You won't find a better spot than Flynn's.